Well, good evening. Apologies for being on so often. And yet, Jaznaz, do you want to no more true crime after this one? Absolutely fine. No worries. I was watching, obviously, along with many other people. No worries. It's working. There you go. Confirmation it's working. I don't even need to go and check. Fantastic. I was, as I say, I was watching earlier the video, the live video by Sandra Lane, which was absolutely brilliant. Explaining so much about the case, and then towards the end getting on to, well, you know, what can be done about this case. And I thought I would share a few emails back and forth between myself and Owen Thompson, who was the MSP for Dalkeith at the time. I don't think he's the current MSP. I believe it's somebody else. But anyway, here are the emails in question, and you can judge for yourself about the tone of the emails to Owen Thompson and the responses I got back. So here we go. I think this is the first one. So this was to Owen Thompson. I should explain, I had previously got in touch with the MSP here in Galashiels, who at the time was Callum Kerr, and he said you should get in touch with the MSP for the area in question, for the Dalkeith area. And so I basically wrote the same email as I had written to Callum Kerr to Owen Thompson. Subject: Jodie Jones, Luke Mitchell case. Dear Owen, as a keen supporter of truth and justice for Teresa Halbach, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, as featured obviously in Making a Murder, I have always been proud to point out to my many American friends that, quote, that could never happen here in Scotland. Unfortunately, it was pointed out to me a couple of months back that Luke Mitchell has almost certainly been wrongfully convicted for the murder of his girlfriend, Jodie Jones, in East Houses on June 30th, 2003. He certainly was not found guilty beyond all reasonable doubt, as recent developments have shown. Both he and his mother passed polygraph tests, and experts are questioning why no blood spatter was found on Luke. Now, it is hoped that in the future, once Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are freed, that Wisconsin will follow the example of other US states by introducing conviction integrity units. I would suggest that we need something similar here in Scotland. I appreciate that Luke Mitchell was prosecuted and subsequently convicted by public opinion. His case is therefore not popular, but whoever killed Jodie Jones is not paying for their crime. Any help, thoughts and comments would be gratefully received. Concerned citizen. My reply back. So it's good to get a reply back, and that's certainly what I got. Mr. Capaldi, thank you for your email dated 17th December 2019, highlighting this important issue. Please accept this email as an acknowledgement and my apologies for not replying to you sooner. This was due to a delay in the setup of my parliamentary system due to the festive period. I think, if I remember rightly, he had only just taken over being the MSP. So fair enough. I understand that you have been looking at the American system of justice and their plans of introducing conviction integrity units to investigate and eliminate the possibility of people being wrongfully convicted at criminal trials. It is indeed a very interesting point. However, as justice is a matter devolved to the Scottish Parliament, I may be limited somewhat in my capacity as MP in the representations I can make, but would be more than happy to raise the issue with the Scottish Justice Secretary, Humza Yousaf, MSP, on your behalf, should you so wish. If you would like me to contact the Scottish Parliament, could you kindly send me confirmation of your address, including postcode, to allow me to proceed? I may not be granted a response, but I am happy to raise the issue. For your interest, Scotland currently has an appeal system through the Scottish Criminal Cases Review Commission, which accepts applications of miscarriages of justice through their website. More information about this can be found www.sccrc.co.uk. No, I think I've done that one. Yeah, that's that one done. Fine, okay. To which I replied, obviously, with my confirmation of address. Dear Owen Thompson, many thanks for your reply, and any and every assistance that you can provide is gratefully received. I too will endeavour to contact the Scottish Justice Secretary. Even as I write, I believe that a film company is looking to make a documentary about Luke's plight. However, right, 1 second, let me just check and see where my last one went. Okay. We just do this just very quickly, then we'll get back to that. Let me just very quickly do this. Seem to be out of sync, and I want to present the last one. No, it's definitely there. Okay, so let's go to this. Let's go to this. Let's go to this. And then hopefully pop it back up. Let's do that. Add that back in. Okay. Yep, there we go. This is the last one. Okay, so this was 14th of January 2020. And this really is the point that you need to bear in mind. Many thanks for sending me confirmation of your address. Greatly appreciated. Regretfully, however, it shows that you do not live within my constituency, meaning that I will be unable to offer you representation due to parliamentary rules on constituency boundaries. Please accept my apologies for this. In order to assist, could I kindly recommend that you contact my colleague within the Scottish Parliament, Christine Graham, who is the constituency MSP for Galashiels and may be able to pursue this on your behalf. Her contact details. So if anybody's in this area, then it's obviously Christine Graham, MSP at Parliament Scotland. I hope that this is useful to you, and many thanks again for taking the time to write to me. Good luck in your aim. Kind regards, Owen. So yeah, I think, just to back up what Sandra Lane was saying, get in touch with your local MP, MSP, MP, and let's really inundate them with messages of support for. Well, for me, it's quite simple. I just want to know. I just want a proper independent inquiry into what happened. Very similar to the with Steve. We just want a proper inquiry and a proper investigation, not one where you've got Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department investigating themselves, and being the lead investigators in the case, and with Luke's case, obviously he's had, I think it's something like 4 appeals that have been turned down. No, that's no way to go. What we want is for the an independent board to look at the case and do a proper review of it, and then find, was there I'm not going to say was Luke framed. I don't think it's quite as strong as that. I do believe that in this situation there were pressures to resolve the case, and inevitably, I think from what I've seen, and this is what people are asking and questioning, did the correct person end up serving time for this? And if the answer is that there's, as the documentary A Murder in a Small Town has pointed out, once you've watched it and you realise that doesn't seem to be the case, then there needs to be some sort of proper review of this. People need to know that if we're once somebody has been murdered in such a grotesque way, that if we're going to do something so grotesque as to take somebody else's life, in effect, from them by locking them up for life, and that's going to be the situation with Luke Mitchell, unless he has a change of mind and says, yes, I did it, let me go, which he said he would never do. And that's the one striking similarity of Stephen and Luke. I think it's just as bad to have, for Jody to be murdered, for somebody to be buried alive in this sense as a result of that conviction. Okay. Right then, T1. I'm confused. Did this just start mid-article reading? I got a little bit lost. very quickly, I'll very quickly run through all 6 of them again, just so that you know for sure. Number 1, my email to Owen Thompson, having spoken with the, having sent an email to local MP, keen supporter of Truth and Justice for Teresa, Stephen and Brendan. Been very proud to point out to my many American friends that that could never happen here in Scotland. Unfortunately, it was pointed out to me a couple of months back, and that was by Derek Edmond, that Luke Mitchell has almost certainly been wrongfully convicted for the murder of his girlfriend, Jodie. I, for one, do not think he was found guilty beyond all reasonable doubt, as not recent developments, but when you find out more and more about the case, this is just 2 examples. The fact that both him and his mother passed polygraph tests, that doesn't prove a great deal. But the fact that there was no blood spatter found anywhere on Luke, not on his clothes, but also significantly not on his hands or his hair, which was said to be dirty from him, scrambling over the wall and searching in the wooded area behind the wall. And then I mentioned about the conviction integrity units. So that was number 1. Then number 2, I would suggest we need something here. I appreciate that Luke, again, same as Steve, prosecuted, and then by public opinion, and then every appeal is rejected because hell, that they're not going to admit that they might have got it wrong. Very rarely do they do that. Obviously, whoever killed Jodie Jones and whoever killed Teresa Holbach is not paying for that crime. Number 3 was, this was the one back from Owen Thompson. Thank you for your email highlighting this important issue. Please accept this email as an acknowledgement. I'm an apology for not replying sooner. This is due to a delay due to the domestic. I understand you've been looking at the American system of justice and plans of introducing conviction integrity units. It is indeed a very interesting point. However, as justice is a matter devolved to the Scottish Parliament, so maybe it's more, as he's saying, it's maybe writing to the MP isn't as effective as writing to the MSP. I don't know. I may be limited in my capacity as MP because he's a member of Parliament, as in Westminster Parliament, representations I can make, but would be more than happy to raise the issue with the Scottish Justice Secretary, Hamza Yousaf, on your behalf. If you'd like me to contact, kindly send me confirmation of your address, including postcode, to allow me to proceed. I may not be granted a response. And again, for your interest, Scotland has an appeal system through the Scottish Criminal Cases Review Commission. And that's the one that obviously Sandra Lane has specifically said, no, we don't want that, because they will just rubber stamp the previous decision, that's rubber stamp the previous decisions. An independent review, please, like they had, similar to what we had for the Hillsborough disaster. So anyway, as I say, the top's missing because I sent my my address, postcode, thanking him, and just pointing out that this was a year ago. We knew that a film company was going to be doing a documentary about it, and it's since been released, and brilliant it has been. And that's the one I got out of order. So T1, this is probably the one that caused all the confusion, in which Owen points out that yes, unfortunately, because of me being in Galashiels, not being in Dalkeith, because of my confirmation of postcode, he can't is unable to offer any representation due to parliamentary rules on constituency boundaries. So therefore, I would need to contact Christine Graham, which I've actually had a leaflet through the door, and we'll be doing so very, very shortly. Owen Thompson, I don't think is currently the MSP, the MP for Midlothian. I don't think so. But anyway, that's if you're in and around the Dalkeith area, it's the MSP. I think that the main one to get in touch with. Okay. So just to remind you that in just over an hour's time, Foul Play will be doing their open mic chat about the case. Interestingly, and I will just mention this because we've got a few of the, if you like, the die-hard MAM supporters here. I've had quite a lot of correspondence over the last couple of days since doing the video with Michael Cicchini. Hopefully, got something planned for the not too distant future. And he sent me a couple of articles. I've read one article, very interesting, to do with the overbearing of somebody's will, and a case that actually was decided not by the Seventh Circuit, but I think it was something like the Fourth Circuit, some other circuit that decided in favour of the defendant. Of course, Brendan's was appealed to the full arm bank, but anyway, there's Peter Baker. Are you on about the Peter? Are you on about the Foul Play one that's coming up in just over an hour and a half's time? If it is, I will drop the link in the description below. Okay. Although I suspect that within the next few seconds, somebody with a spanner will have made use of the fact and posted a link. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can do it quicker than anybody else. Let's see how long it takes me to post the link here in the. Let me see. I reckon I can do this in just a couple of seconds. Let's just do that. Let's do that. Copy link. Copied. Go back here. Go to there. Go to there. There we go. Come down here. Post in comment section. Click. Yes, there we go. Okay, Peter. Hopefully that will get you in, and you can watch the proceedings. But as I say, I will put that link also in the description below. So you don't have to go all the way through the live chat to find it. Okay, that's all I've got time for today, and we'll see you again very soon. I'll say looking forward to having another chat with Michael Cicchini. Bye for now. Thanks for popping by.